communities are dying. I'm Rosemary Williams, one of 5 Minnesota women fighting the foreclosure monster that is trying to steal our homes and neighborhoods. My mother died 6 years ago. She and I built this home together from ground up. We lived across the street at 3119 for 30 some years. My siblings wanted their inheritance from my mother, so I had to refinance to pay them off. And then started having some hard luck financially. Refinanced with an arm to pay off some bills and help my daughter finish college. My mortgage went from $1,200 to $2,200 in 1 year, but just realized that that was unfair and unrealistic. Decided to fight, then decided to leave. It's a very emotional situation. It's a roller coaster. I've cried rivers and started packing up, and then the organizations came forward to support me, and here I am now. I've been to court three different times. We've had several protests. I was evicted, I guess it's a week ago now. We moved back in 10 minutes after the sheriff left. We've been here ever since. We kind of have a 24-hour vigil. There are a lot of people still don't understand. Why are you doing this? Why are you fighting? Well, why didn't you keep it together? So they put a lot of guilt and shame on you. But you know, and I came to the conclusion that the banks aren't ashamed, so why should I be ashamed? They caused the situation in this country anyhow. Yes, you know, the financial systems and, you know, the government we've had in place for the last 30 years. So, you know, I shouldn't be ashamed. And I've done what I'm supposed to do as a citizen.
I'm very scared. I've been in my house 12 years. I work at Abbott Hospital. I've been there 19 years. My husband is a chef. He's been a chef for 26, 27 years. Last year, he lost his job, was laid off. When we went in, our debt to income was so high that we decided that we had to take whatever they gave us, basically. They said, this is the only thing we can do for you. The only thing we can do for you is give you an arm, but it'll get the creditors off your back. It'll buy you some time in your house. And at that time, I believed them.
You know, we're trying our best to look to see what we're signing, but a lot of times there's somebody coming right behind you, and you try to read it, they'll say, nope, you can't read this. No, we got people coming in after you. Sign here, 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 here. You sign a book this thick. Yeah. You know, they want to get you in there and get you out of there.
So we went ahead and refinanced, and that bought us maybe another 2 or 3 months. And then the reality hit that I should have trusted my gut instinct and the fact that we couldn't afford the mortgage payment. So we went from living paycheck to paycheck and being behind to now we can't even make our payments. And so now I'm getting creative. I'm having garage sales, selling everything in my house. Trying to figure out how to buy time because this modification process that we qualify for has been taking since March. Wells Fargo told us you make ample income, you don't qualify.
Keep calling. And every time you call, you talk to a different person, and that person tells you something different from what this other person that you're talking to presently. So none of this is mashing together. Everybody's got a different story. The people that answer the phone, they don't even know what they're doing. But they give you something to coach you, to calm you down.
It sounds that many of you are working women or had a job, but working for years and years and years. You know, and the stereotype out there is that, oh, why don't they just get a job and pay off their mortgage? Well, first of all, you know, we are working, number one. And number two, if we're not working, we were working, but our economy went down. Right. And now it's difficult to find a job. And Leslie, you work, and yes, so does your mother.
Exactly.
Do you want to tell us your story?
The city came through and, you know, apparently they do inspections every 5 years to make sure that everybody's property, if they are renting, is up to par. Yeah. So the city came through and said, okay, you need to fix these various things. Told my mom that with her property. Of course, she didn't have that kind of money on hand, you know. So she refinanced, and this particular loan officer was a total crook and clever enough to cover his tracks for his crimes that he committed, because that mortgage that he wrote up was a crime, an absolute crime, and he robbed her blind. And it was a 6 months fixed mortgage, and then after 6 months it would go up every single month.
Which company was it?
This was IndyMac.
Oh yeah, yeah.
IndyMac. This is the bank that eventually went under.
Yeah.
This is the bank where one underwriter would say, oh no, this mortgage won't go through. It would go up another level, and that particular underwriter would say, send it through, because they wanted to get paid. And they were throwing out these mortgages, is financing anyone. But of course, my mother could afford her mortgage. She could afford her mortgage. You know, she had no idea she was getting an arm. She told the guy, I want a fixed rate. You know, I want the same mortgage I always had, a conventional fixed rate. She thought that's what she was getting. Come to find out years later, she got this goofy arm that just basically put her in foreclosure.
So I'm basically suing 3 companies. The one that started the loan, the one that brought the loan, and merged itself, because they were all in there together. They'll try to evict me to repossess the duplex. I'm trying to sue them to stay in my home. I've been there for 10 years. I've never had any problem. Like Rosemary, I am a good homeowner in the neighborhood. My investigator said, go look at your loans or the foreclosure procedures, because word is out that they've been foreclosing wrong. Come to find out, my process was done wrong.
Oh, no.
The lender was sued by the FTC last year for $28 million for discrimination against minorities and things that they have done to people. Because the things they're doing to me, they've been sued for, and they promised that they wouldn't do it again. Have I packed up? No. Have I looked for a place? No. All I want is justice. All I want to do is be heard on why you did what you did to me. Not me, but these women too. They don't want to work with us because of the restrictions, or what they say we can't do. They can do anything they want to. They own the company if they choose to. But if we all stand together and say we're not going to go, then we got to be heard.
And this is the house. My father bought the property in 1938. My brother still got the little book that he paid $600 for that piece of land in 1938. Wow. And so this house has definitely been paid for many, many times. And yeah, when he passed away, in order for my brothers and sister to get their inheritance, I had to finance it and pay them off. But by gosh, I put a big down payment on when I bought it in 1997. So I've been living there and paying every year. So yeah, I had something. I had equity in this home. Now I haven't got any equity in the home, and I'm going to lose it. And, you know, I'm 60 years old. What am I supposed to do? I love being involved with the neighborhood. I'm the only one that started the block party for National Night Out. You know, I've known some of my neighbors since I was yay big, and we got some solidarity in there.
You no longer have a life because you're waiting for a court date. You're waiting for somebody to come and knock on your door and tell you got to go.
Yep. That's true. I see a car drive by and I know it's an unmarked something. I see the fence in the, you know, between the front and the back seat, and I'm like, okay, is he pulling into my driveway next? Who's he looking for? I don't know if he's going to show up at my door and hand me papers or tell me I got 15 minutes to get out or 48 hours to get out.
I'm at Rosemary Williams' house. Are you familiar with the situation that's going on here? She's the woman that's, her house was foreclosed on and she's resisting the eviction. Well, we just got notice from GMAC, the mortgage company. They contacted the lawyer and let them know that arrests are happening today. We don't know what time, but anybody still at the house is going to get arrested sometime today. So we're trying to get as many people as possible, as soon as possible, to come on out.
7 or 8 families who all told us to get out of the backyard. And now we're all in front of us now. Maybe 25 people.
Stop the evictions now! Stop the evictions now! Stop the evictions now!
These are the people in the backyard. I think some of them are GMAC.
Please answer this.
Evictions now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Stop the eviction now!
record and trace. Young heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a queen.
You know, I reached out to my Senate and representative in my area, and the closest I got to them was their secretaries and saying that, oh, I feel sorry for you, and I'll have, you know, them get back in touch with you. I have not received a call from them at all.
It didn't help when I had media attention and trying to get media attention. I'll put all the media attention you want on it, but it doesn't help when I'm not here. I have meetings with other people.
It's not even about media. It's about people to recognize that this is a very grave situation.
To my next open house. And all you have to do is
Well, you know, it feels like these so-called powerful people that we have taken the time to vote for are just completely dropping the ball on us. They need to stand up and stop being afraid.
So you're not by yourself. We've all decided to stay.
So they need to either get behind us or get the hell out of the way and get behind a movement that matters.